Good morning, God. Thank you for this absolutely beautiful rainy day. Thank you for all the flowers and the plants and the moisture of the earth for the summer. I know that it is needed and it is much appreciated. Thank you for my Mystic Heart family, for each and every person who shows up online or in person. Thank you for everything flowing smoothly today and for knowing that each and every person walks in and gets exactly what they need. And so for the ahas and the laughter and the ability to be in service, and for each and every person here and the loving energy, I open my heart, I open my mind, and I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Father, Mother, God. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Thank you, Lucinda. We're going to dance around each other. So good morning and welcome. So glad to have you here this morning. If you're new with us here this morning, my name's Reverend Diana Johnson, and I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We are an independent interfaith community, and we teach universal principles, practical spirituality, following the common threads of truth that run through all of the world's great traditions. So we enter this morning the Lenten season, which actually began Wednesday. It's a time of releasing, rethinking, and reimagining. So we begin our Taizé journey this morning by joining our voices in musical prayer.
Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. Make me an instrument, Lord of thy peace, as I let go, as I release. Make me an instrument, humble and free, as I awaken the living Christ in me.
So breathing deeply, bringing awareness to the peace that is forever available. Allowing that peace to become the dominant energy or quality. Letting go of all that has come before this moment and all that may come next. Recognizing this as the one moment we have. In every moment. Just this. Just here. Just now. We deepen the power of our musical prayer, bringing it to our minds and our hearts. Holy One, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, may I offer pardon. Where there is doubt, may I embody faith. Where there is despair, may I shine the light of hope. And where there is darkness, may I shine your radiant light. Where there is sadness, may I be anchored in the joy that will inevitably return, as it is the truth of my being. Great Spirit, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to reach out in compassion and consolation. That I not seek first to be understood, but rather to offer understanding. That I not seek first to be loved, but to forever extend my unconditional love. For it is in giving that one receives. It is in self-forgetting that one finds. It is in forgiving that one is forgiven. And it is in dying to the self-centeredness that is the human condition that one awakens to eternal life. Claiming this as the truth for each one of us, I am an instrument of peace. Breathing that in. I am an instrument of peace. Peace in my family, my neighborhood, and my spiritual community. Peace in my greater community. Peace in the world. Claiming for each of us, I walk as peace taken form. I sow only seeds of love, pardon, faith. I sow only seeds of hope, joy, and light. I offer sincere compassion, understanding, and non-judgment, remembering that every being is a perfect and intentional expression of the divine. every being, without exception, is a perfect and intentional expression of the divine. We are all one in spirit. Every human and non-human creature, every plant, rock, grain of sand, the air, water, and soil that give us life, the vast web below us, and the endless skies above. Inseparable, interconnected, interdependent. Each one unique and necessary to life itself. Each one an expression of one light. Take a moment now to breathe deeply and to sense our deep connection to all that is. It serves the highest good of all when each of us walks as an instrument of peace. Through our intimate connection, our peace ripples out and touches everyone and everything. Because we are one in spirit, and because we've been given the capacity, it is ours to offer our deep respect and to care for one another, for all life forms, and for the amazing planet that sustains us. The world is ready for deep change, ready for us to bring about deep change in ourselves, so that those changes might ripple out and have a positive impact on the whole. Our world and its many systems are going through some profound changes. We are at choice. Will we be a benefit or a hindrance? Will our lives stand for peace, compassion, generosity, and love, or not? Will our thoughts, words, and actions make a positive impact, or delay the revealing of wholeness in the world? It is one or the other. We are called to make up our minds, to consciously choose which way we will go, how we will live, and then to take the steps that bring our choices to fruition. The mind is a powerful thing. The brain, heart, and gut, joined and working together energetically and chemically, collaborating to guide us as we make the sacred journey that we call a human life. It becomes our most challenging work to integrate what the thoughts are telling us with what the heart and gut are feeling. To listen to all three equally, and to allow that guidance to direct our lives. This is where our highest wisdom can be felt and known, where the still small voice of spirit can be heard. The ancient texts advise that we do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The season of Lent, the 40 or so days prior to Easter, taken from the Christian tradition, is a time of renewal. An invitation to transform ourselves, to effect deep change in ourselves and in our lives. It invites us to release thoughts that discourage us, habits that hinder us, and beliefs that keep our lives small. And to reimagine what we and our lives might become in the year to come. The power of imagination is natural to humans. In every stage of our lives, it functions as part of our learning. It helps us to process complex emotions. It assists us in our creative expression. Everything that comes into physical being is first imagined by someone. Imagination is our power of conception, vision, and embodiment. We say that there is only one life, one source, one mind. So that means everything you could ever conceive of originates, already exists in the one mind. Whether it seems possible or impossible, it must be possible because it is derived from the unified field of intelligence. With our conceiving power, we catch an idea. We make it our own, filtering it through our human consciousness. The character of the consciousness determines the quality of our imaginings. The visioning power of imagination is our ability to dream of what has not yet manifested, to flesh out the details, and to feel the benefit prior to its coming to fruition. It is the powerful joining of thinking and feeling, and it is very important to the creative process. Embodiment means becoming a living expression of the qualities required for an idea to become reality. Not only conceiving of and envisioning a desired future, but becoming the person who lives the new story, who holds a new paradigm. Conception, visioning, and embodiment. The path to renewal, to deep change, transformation. The steps to creating a love-soaked world. So simple. Not always so easy. But we can begin by taking the first step. Making up our minds to be the change we wish to see in the world.
Making up is a very versatile phrase.
Used with mind, it can mean to decide, as Reverend Diana just used it, or to put in order, as in making up the bed. Making up with another after a disagreement connotes reconciliation. But there's another usage that involves our creative imagination. We make things up. We make up songs, we make up jokes, we make up stories, and each time it is a creative act. We bring something new into the world, something that didn't even exist yesterday. Our imagination is a conduit through which divine ideas emerge into the human world. Spirit creates and evolves the cosmos through us. Using our imagination, we enter the imaginal realm, the liminal space between spirit and form, between intention and experience. We conceive of something not yet existing in our life. We consider how it will feel to us, what we might do, how we might act, perhaps even who we must become to achieve this new reality. In the imaginal realm, we let our imagination roam freely, without limitation. One with spirit, we stretch out in the divine omniscience, in the omnipresence, letting the great mystery flow through us and out into a new world, one that includes our new creation, our new experience, our new self. Spirit is all there is, and it is God's good pleasure to express itself as anything that affirms life, love, peace, and joy. What is best for each of us is the highest good for all of us. As we share these 3 minutes of sacred silence, I invite you to explore the imaginal realm within you, the field of boundless possibility, the divine infinity of being that lies within you. Set your intention free. Let it reveal itself to you. Allow it to grow beyond your original conception. Surrender to it. Let it change you and your world. Great Spirit, divine source of all that is, thank you for your divine gift of imagination. Thank you for its creative power and for its limitless possibilities. Thank you for this beloved community of beautiful souls who support and inspire me. May we always remember and appreciate our mutual love and support. Professor Albert Einstein told us that imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. Your imagination and mine are portals through which Spirit pours itself into our lives. Let it flow freely. Returning now to Reverend Diana's continued inspiration, we make up our minds to become the best incarnation of Spirit we can imagine, to live from our highest intention, to allow ourselves to be changed, to evolve, to be the change we wish to see.
As children, we may have been discouraged from using our imagination. We might have been told to stop daydreaming and come back to reality. We might have been called a dreamer or an idealist. But imagination is not just for dreaming. It is for transforming. It is the sacred power back of the deep change that our world is crying for. When ignited by faith and guided by love, imagination becomes a sacred faculty that empowers us to co-create a new reality. As we reimagine our lives through the eyes of Spirit, we claim our power to transform. From separation to oneness. From grief to grace. From resistance to peace. And in doing so, we prepare our hearts for the miracle of lasting transformation.
Dream of a day when we can live without anger. And dream of a time when we can live without pain. And dream of a way that we can live without hunger. And dream of a sign that the earth can be peaceful again. What can we do to get our people looking higher? What do you do in the darkness but look for the light? We can join hands and do whatever we desire. We'll never fail as long as the reasons are right. We're gonna live in peace. It's our only chance on earth. We'll get all that fighting to cease. And remember what society separates us from the time of our birth. Well, we won't live here much longer if we live as strangers. No time at all if we don't learn how to live with the earth. Combining our efforts instead of being parted. Sharing a vision that we will have a new dawn. Remember that love is how it all got started. And don't you know that love will keep it going even after we're gone? What can we give the earth that we haven't given in the past? A way to live here on earth, make it last and last and last. Dream of a day when we can live in communion. Dream of a time when we can live without fear. Awaken a way to get all of us working together. And know that the time when the earth can be peaceful is near. Know that our thoughts and our actions are honest and clear. And know that the people on earth will be safe from all fear. Know that the time when the earth can be peaceful is near.
We close Taizé this morning with a prayer, with a vision of a new version of life on earth. We call this vision a love-soaked world, where all humans are living from their deepest wisdom and generosity and their most loving nature. Thoughtful of the impact of their thoughts, words, and actions, and the effects that these have on one another, on the community, and on the planet. A world without greed, where there is abundance in having enough. Where nutritious food, clean water, and air are readily available to all beings. Where warm, comfortable, and affordable housing is a given. Where all beings feel a sense of safety, belonging, and contribution. Ours is a world where mental and physical health, education, and healthy relationships are ensured by social systems grounded in integrity, honesty, and wholeness. Where all beings work and play at whatever feeds their soul and are well compensated for their service. where authenticity and vulnerability are not only welcomed, but celebrated. Where the peace we cultivate within ourselves shows up as a world free of violence, hatred, or indifference. A world where the love that we are here to share is given freely to whomever our hearts are called to love. And where we have moved beyond all lines of separation and live as one human family, caring for one beautiful planet with the reverence that she deserves. By the power of our collective intention, imagining, and inspired action, we have undergone an amazing transformation. We are living in a world that works for all beings. Our deep faith tells us that all circumstances are being used for good. And it is by the power of Spirit working through our hands, feet, hearts, and voices that positive change is ongoing, forever happening. We have aligned all of our actions with our vision, living these changes in our own lives, with our families, our friends, communities, and other nations. We walk in deep humility, reverence, and gratitude as we recognize the sacred in everyone and everything. We recognize the transformation is an ongoing process, and in times of great change, people benefit from working, playing, and simply being together. And so this community stands as an open and welcoming place for all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. It redefines church as a place of self-discovery, authenticity, kindness, radical inclusion, and love. It is by the power of the great mystery moving through each one of us that this prayer is acted upon, here and now, answered even as it is spoken. Divine presence, timing, and process make it so. And so it is with profound gratitude and great joy that I release my word, calling it done. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen.
Amen.
So bringing our awareness back to the space, back to our senses, to the atmosphere in the room, gently opening the eyes and taking in whatever is before you. You can look around and witness all who are here in meditation and celebration with you this morning. One branch of your spiritual family, a support system that you can lean into. So as we close our Taizé meditation today, we offer the opportunity for you to share of your financial good if you choose to do that. This is in support of the work that we're doing here in our community and in the greater community. If you're joining us online today, you could go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button or mailing address. We're an independent, self-sustaining organization, and we're grateful for your generosity. It allows us to be here. So we thank you in advance for all of your gifts. They enabled us to do our work. And I just invite you to enjoy the heck out of this video today. Imagine by the Pentatonics.
Yeah.
So we say thank you for these gifts, knowing that they are given from a deep place of love. Gifts of spirit as they move through your life, your hands, your heart, and into this community. These gifts are so appreciated. So we say, thank you, Spirit, thank you to each one. And so it is. God, that gets me. So I'm just going to remind you quickly that if you're interested in attending the spring tea on March 7th, there are still a few tickets left. Ember of Wisdom, which is April and Miley's winter wheel, medicine wheel, thank you. It got me, we have a couple of tickets left for that as well. And if you are attending the retreat at the end of April, a reminder, and I'll be sending out an email this week, that the remainder of payment is due by March 15th, which was put out originally, but it's been a while since I've mentioned it. So with those things, we're going to bless you on your way to either a cup of coffee, come back for a conversation, or on with your Sunday, and many blessings.
I didn't want to tell you to stop daydreaming.
May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayer. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayers.
God bless you. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so shy.
in the kitchen.
Got one.
I'm just so shy.
You are. You've gotten more and more shy the longer you go along.
Good morning, God. It's me again. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the laughter and the joy and the love, and for knowing that I am supported in each and everything that I do. I grow. Thank you for the message today. And thank you for each and every person and their insights and the ahas that always come with that. So in deep gratitude for each one here, for the food that I've been spelling forever, and for life, I say thank you, Father, Mother, God, and so it is. Amen.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, or welcome back, whichever it is for you. I better turn my pages back here. There. It's not time for invitations yet. Yeah. So thank you for joining us this morning. It's so good to have you here. If you're new with us online today, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson, pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're a universalist. No, that's not what I was going to say. An independent interfaith community that teaches universal principles, practical spirituality. We follow the common threads of truth that run through all the world's great teachings. So it is my prayer that something you hear this morning will lead you back inward to the wisdom and guidance of your own mystic heart. But let's get our conversations started this morning, and we're small and mighty this morning, so you're going to have to sing out, get up and dance if you want. We're going to join our voices in song and give our bodies a chance to move a little bit.
Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family with love. love possible through prayer. And everything's possible through welcome to the mystic heart. Everybody get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound, say hey, 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 hey. Everybody get up on your feet, see the light, everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
All right, this will be the last time for this song for this month before we change next month.
And I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. That's it. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go, and let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
All right, let's keep that energy moving. If you were here for Taste Day, you're going to get a double dose today. Double dose. So I invite you to gently close your eyes and envision with me a new version of life on Earth. A love-soaked world where all humans are living from their deepest wisdom and generosity, their most loving nature. So this is more than just a speaking. This is a feeling. This is a seeing. This is an affirmation which is spoken in the present tense here and now as something we have accomplished in the mind of the One. All humans are living from their deepest wisdom and generosity, their most loving nature. What would that look like? What does that look like?
Absolutely.
Caught myself. Thoughtful of the impact of their thoughts, words, and actions, and the effects that those have on one another and on the community and on the planet. A world without greed, where there's abundance in having enough, where nutritious food, clean water, and air are readily available to all beings everywhere. Where warm and comfortable and affordable housing is a given.
Yes.
Where all beings feel a sense of safety, belonging, and contribution. To these blessings we say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Ours is a world where mental and physical health, education, and healthy relationships are ensured by social systems grounded in integrity, in honesty, in wholeness, where all beings work and play at whatever feeds their soul and are well compensated for their service, where authenticity and vulnerability are not only welcomed, but celebrated, where the peace that we cultivate within ourselves shows up as a world free of violence, hatred, or indifference.
Yes. Yes.
Ours is a world where the love that we are here to share is given freely to whomever our hearts are called to love, where we've moved beyond all lines of separation and we live as one human family, caring for one beautiful planet with the reverence that she deserves. To these blessings, we say yes. We recognize that transformation is an ongoing process, and especially in times of great change, people benefit from working and playing and simply being together. So this community stands as an open and welcoming place for all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. It redefines church as a place of self-discovery, authenticity, kindness, radical inclusion, and love. To these blessings, we say yes. We recognize that transformation is an ongoing process, and in times of great change, I just said that. It must be important, and it is.
Say it twice.
It is by the power of the great mystery moving through each one of us that this prayer is acted upon, answered even as it's spoken. Divine presence, timing, and process make it so. So it is with profound gratitude and great joy that I release my word to the one that gets it done, and so it is. Amen.
Say, oh.
All right. I just had to do that twice this morning because it fits so well as a closing prayer for Taizé with the theme today. And it never hurts to repeat a strong affirmation.
Absolutely.
So as we bring our awareness back to the space, to the room, to this beautiful life and the amazing beings that are here with us this morning, we recognize how good that feels in the body, how the energy's been shifted. It's been shifted in the room, but more than that, it's rippled out and it's been shifted on the planet in whatever way. Our prayer is really, we call it our little loving act of defiance, and we got to have 2 of them this morning. So good for us. There's nothing anybody can do about that. So if you were here at Taizé this morning, you'll know that our topic of reflection has been make up your mind. Sometimes I look at these titles at the end of the month, and I've set them last month, and I went, what was I thinking when I did that? I wonder what I was thinking. But then it came. I sit with it, and it came. So it ties in with the February's theme, which is deep change, and the journey of transformation that each one of us is on in this lifetime. Whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not, that's what we're here doing. So I'm going to begin by giving a quick bullet point summary for this morning's Taizé for those who were not here, and then we're going to jump off from that point for our conversation. And yep, I do have what I need here. Good. That's always a good thing. So we started out by looking at making up our minds as consciously choosing how that we will live and then taking the steps that bring those choices to fruition. We talked about the mind as being very powerful, and we defined mind as not just the brain, but the brain, the heart, and the gut all working in tandem, joined, working together energetically and chemically. And collaborating to guide us, this gut of ours, it collaborates to guide us as we live our lives, if we're paying attention, if we're integrating all 3. It acknowledged the challenge that came in integrating those thoughts, what the thoughts are telling us. I don't know about you, but my mind never stops. It never stops. I don't know what they say about, bringing the mind to stillness and meditation. For me, the best I can do is to let it do its thing and just not give it any power. And then it's about the best I can do. So we talked about listening to all three equally, the brain, the heart, and the gut, because they all have messages for us, and allowing the guidance that those three can give us if we look to that. We quoted the book of Romans in the Christian Bible, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And we introduced the season of Lent, which started last Wednesday, as a time of renewal and an invitation to transform ourselves, to effect deep change within ourselves and in our lives, in the places that are calling for change, whatever those are. Talked about the release of thoughts that discourage us, habits that hinder us, and beliefs that keep our lives small. So we're wanting to release that stuff. And talked about reimagining, in place of what we're releasing, what we in our lives might become in the year to come. So using the power of imagination to help move us forward. We talked about imagination as being very natural to humans, and we looked at some of the ways we use it. We contemplated imagination as our combined powers of conception, vision, and embodiment. So we conceive of something, then we envision it, and then we embody it. And we spent some time with the idea that if there's only one life, one source, one mind, that all conceptions carry with them fulfillment. So with every conception is already the possibility of fulfillment that exists. So if you're not sure what that means, take a look at the Taizé online after this evening when it goes up. And for the moment then, let's use that as a springboard to move into conscious conversation. I want to start a little bit more about the Lenten season, because we pull practices and celebrations from all traditions. And so I just want to know what's in the room. What do you know, or what are your perceptions about season of Lent, if you have any such conceptions at all or perceptions? And think about, where do your particular perceptions come from? Yeah.
From my Catholic upbringing as a child, all I remember is, well, what are you going to give up for Lent?
Okay.
That's it.
What are you going to give up for Lent? It's about giving things up
Yeah.
in the Catholic tradition from your experience. Okay.
Same here.
Same here. We have a lot of transformed or expanded Catholics in our
Yes.
community. There you go.
Because we've been doing this for 6 years, I'm going to spin it a little bit differently and saying things that I'm willing to release.
Okay, so
From
things
my life.
I'm willing to release from my life. So the meaning of it has shifted for you over the last 6 years talking about this. All right, what else? What else do you know about or believe?
Following Lucinda's train. I also was raised Catholic, and it's about reimagining who you are and evaluating what your upbringing, your history, your experiences made your beliefs and values, and reassessing that and see if it still fits.
Okay, so reassessing all that you thought you knew or believed and were taught, and asking yourself, does this still fit for me? Or do I need a new way of understanding this? Good morning, Amanda. Anything else that you know or think you know or perceive around Lent?
Well, I think the 40 days are symbolic of the time Jesus spent in the wilderness just after his baptism, before he started his ministry, and was tempted, by his inner devils. And so I think it's a time to reassess what temptations we're caving into and can give up.
All right, so from that Christian mythology, and we do understand it as a mythology, just like all of the world's great traditions have their mythologies. But in that story, there is the temptation by the demons and the sitting with that for 40 days. And so that's where that 40 days of Lent comes from. Anything else, Bob?
Well, I'm going to give up the concept of getting older and going to get younger.
All right, so we're going to release the need to get older and just get younger. I think you guys do a pretty good job at that.
Me too.
I had a thought because I'm following that Lenten series from Unity,
Uh-huh.
and I love the one, I don't remember what day it was, but I am going to release my temptation to complain.
Oh, yes, we're going to talk about that today. Release my temptation to complain. Yeah. Okay. So, I want to start by saying that I was not raised celebrating Lent. My family was not religious. My family was actually anti-religious. They believed that religion was a crutch that weak people used to cope with life if they couldn't cope otherwise. That was the philosophy I was raised with. And that was really a blessing for me because I have been able to develop my own understanding around the season. I don't have any baggage or junk around it because we just didn't do that. I didn't even know what it was. So I've come to understand this time as a time of renewal, reimagining and recreating. And it's an opportunity once a year to really sit with that. What is it that wants to be reimagined and recreated? And it calls me to release once and for all whatever patterns are holding me back. Welcome, Jeff. Whatever patterns and habits that no longer serve me or maybe never did serve me. Calls me to replace those things with new, more life-affirming, life-enhancing ones. So for me, that's what the fasting and feasting is about. It's fasting from the things that don't serve, feasting on new things that can help to support my growth. So every year Unity does put out a little daily reading guide for the season of Lent. And I don't always follow it. Sometimes I get it. I always get it, and sometimes it speaks to me and sometimes it doesn't. I just do something else. But this year it seems to be going deeper than it has at other times. So I've been reading it each day. It's a little short reading. So I'm going to share a couple of short pieces with you this morning. And then we'll go into conversation about each one. So keep in mind that Unity is a progressive, universal, new thought leaning version of Christianity. So that's who they are. So that's going to be the language and the perspective that this is coming from. So feel free to translate language if there's a language that doesn't work for you or whatever. We do a lot of that here. Format this year is I release and reimagine. So on February 18th, there was this short reading. Oh, there it is. I release mortality. Ooh. Ash Wednesday is a powerful time for reflection and contemplation. It reminds us of our own mortality. It calls us to examine our beliefs about life, the finite form that is our body, and our understanding of our infinite true nature. In Unity, we understand the appearance of mortality not as an ultimate truth, but one rooted in our human experience. Mortality rests on the illusion that we are separate from the source of all life, that as our bodies pass away, we will ultimately end as well. During this season of Lent, we are invited to release our identity as merely physical beings, defined by fear, age, and loss, destined to end. In the ashes of these beliefs, we unearth a deeper knowing that death is not the end of anything. We make space for a higher truth to emerge, free from fear, open to the infinite. So I'm going to back-to-back that with, so that's the release. I reimagine the eternal. was the flip side. So after this one, we'll open it to conversation. So I release mortality, I reimagine the eternal. Our true nature is eternal, always expressing uniquely and endlessly. There is no end for us. We are not confined to years counted on a calendar, to this body temple we inhabit, or to a finite existence. We are limitless life expressing in the here and now. When we reimagine ourselves as eternal, we live differently. We speak with more kindness, forgive with more freedom, and dream more expansively. Possibility abounds. Eternity calls us to measure our worth not by our human accomplishments, but by our capacity to love. Today we consciously affirm our eternal nature. We allow the truth of our divinity, which has no beginning and no end, to inform our every action. It animates every breath, every smile, every act of courage. Today we choose to walk through this Lenten season rooted in the truth of our eternal, timeless nature. So my question, to begin with anyway, to see where this leads us, is what spiritual traditions do your personal beliefs and practices come from? And what are your beliefs about mortality and eternality? We're going to jump right in today. Because we have a range of traditions in this space.
Well, I was born and raised that we were born in sin, filthy rags, and only Jesus could save us.
Okay.
And now I believe that I'm eternal, that I'm God in body, and that my spirit will live eternity in different lifetimes. That's what I believe now.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to share where your practice is grounded and what your beliefs about mortality or eternality are? That's a big question. Yeah, go for it.
So mine come from, there is like a foundation there that other things have built on over time. And so I don't hold to the traditions of the line that I come from. I've created my own, and also through Native American practices and other spiritual practices that I've made mine, that I've been here before. I'll be here again. And I'm not leaving here until I'm good and ready, no matter what. And if you sit in that place of we're all dreaming, I know a lot of shamanic principles are that we are all dreaming, and we need to wake up to the fact that we are, in fact, dreaming our reality. And if that is true, then there's a lot of power in the creative ability to manifest your own future lifetimes or experiences now. And I have no idea where I'm going after this meat suit lets go of my spirit. And I don't care, because I don't fear it. And I don't fear it because I don't feel like death is an end. And in our tradition, death is not an end. It's a necessary bridge. So if it's a necessary bridge, and I don't know what's on the other side, but I don't fear any kind of weird religious punishment for being me, then what the heck do I have to fear over what's going to happen when I get there? It's going to be great. Hopefully it won't be this earth again. I'd like to go somewhere else next time. But, if I'm coming back here, okay.
All right, thank you. Nice. Chris?
I think I got my vision of eternal life from the Christian tradition. I was more exposed to Protestant than the Catholic Church, but I was pretty sure, I accepted the fact that when the body dies, the spirit continues on. But I couldn't quite grasp sitting around on a cloud playing a harp for all eternity. I love music and all, but even that's going to get boring at some point. So it makes more, than as opposed to reincarnation from the East. That just makes a lot more sense to me. And the idea that Our spirit will clothe itself in a new body, a new meat suit, or whatever they're
Some
wearing in that
form.
particular dimension.
Right, some form.
So, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense that it just stops. All that energy, all that love, all that peace, all that intelligence, it just can't stop because the meat's dead.
All right, thank you. Amanda, now I'll be over here, Zoe.
I've been kind of reflecting a little bit on my roots, and my roots is kind of what I call white bread Christianity, and part of that is because too I think River's been exposed to the idea of heaven recently, so that's kind of been an interesting conversation. Thinking about, I think he thinks about heaven, and this is how I used to think about it, as we would go, to the clouds and see all of our relatives, and who knows exactly what will really truly happen afterwards. But that's kind of my beginning of thinking about death, and then I became atheist. There's a whole wide version of atheism and atheistic ideas. But I couldn't quite let go of the idea that we came from something, and we were going to continue on in some form. And so I kind of would think about the idea that we came from stardust, and we're going to go back to stardust, or some other creatures will be part of a plant, and then maybe part of, I don't know, a creature that eats that plant. And so that was the idea that I had for a long time, and that still enters my mind, and I kind of like that idea. And I don't know, it's interesting to think how my ideas have evolved. Now I kind of think of it almost more as reincarnation, and I was just thinking about death on the way here, and thinking of it as a birth, a rebirth. And because it is definitely a process, to let go of this life usually, and to go on to our next step, which I like the idea of as if we are eternal beings. And that does, when you really think about it as eternal beings, it does change the way you think and feel, and how you might want to interact with people.
Yeah. Nice, thank you.
Thank you.
Zoe.
I was raised similar to the dirty rag, where you've got to live perfect to get to heaven, or hell's awaiting you. And I actually had a whole family unit deconstruction of the faith, so that was really powerful, because we kind of all had like circle times to talk about how we were all kind of changing in all of our own unique ways. And I think that was really special and powerful, and we kind of all have different connections to beliefs, but I think that really gave us the ability to kind of hold the world in like the truth encompasses everything. And so I think that's really special, because it became the inclusion of it all, rather than trying to find one right thing that excludes everything else.
Right.
And now I kind of see, I'm still young, and I feel like I've shifted through so many different phases of myself where I've completely transformed and changed, and things have come and gone. And so I think how I believe is like a continuity. And so even with death kind of being like the bridge, I do really see this realm kind of like a dream, where on the other side it's all the simultaneous here and now. And in that way, it's like cause and effect are one and experienced at the same moment. Like everything is already a whole construct. And so in order to kind of experience this level of a narrow focus on the delay, on the change, on what's all involved in everything, I think this much density and struggle and confusion is kind of all a part of like let's say our whole being is this whole person, but then this lifetime experience is like just the tip of your pinky finger, like getting to look at that pinky finger and actually like focus on, okay, what are the small details here? What is like the exact thing? And that's kind of how I view the lifetimes, is we're getting such a special and like very, very narrow, tiny frame piece of the whole that is probably even maybe that whole afterwards is only a tiny piece of a bigger whole or something. So I just think that this is such a profound moment to experience what is present with us, and we'll never have this exact frame of relationship with each other, with our community, with ourselves, with this moment. I think that in itself just makes it so valuable that each and every one of us are here and like relating to life as life, meeting itself.
That's powerful and beautiful.
Yeah.
And for someone your age to have made it from dirty rags to non-dualism that soon, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, thank you for being willing to share. Yeah. Yes.
I was introduced to all the above. And I found that I was not being fed spiritually. They didn't have the answers to the questions I had. And so in expanding my research, for lack of a better word, I found an understanding that we do come back or come again as the next phase of our spirit, who we are. We only have so much time to learn these life lessons in this particular set of circumstances. So we come back and learn another set of circumstances, life lessons. And it's part of a wheel. And we eventually get to go back to spirit and stay as spirit.
Nice. Thank you, Marcy. Anything else before we move to the next? Yeah, a couple things that I'm hearing. First of all, when you say heaven, people talk about heaven. What do we in this room believe about that concept? Let me just throw that out there. Cheryl?
That's within us.
Okay,
It's
so
not out
it's
there.
within us.
And trust that.
Okay. Michael?
It's our perspective.
It's our perspective.
Yeah, however we see our earth, our life and the earth or whatever.
Okay.
We can even think of it as heaven or maybe as hell.
Yeah.
I think it's perspective.
Perspective.
And, yeah, the here and now, at the same time.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. Chris?
I see it as a state of mind.
Okay.
A state of being, and it is influenced definitely by our perspectives, our values, and our beliefs. So we can choose those that are life affirming and nourish, or we can choose those which are destructive. And I think those that are destructive are the aspect of hell, and those that are nourishing are the aspect of heaven.
So most of the time when you hear that, it's talked about as like the actual place.
Right.
Right? It's the actual end zone.
Yes.
Right? You go there.
Going to the end zone.
And it's in an enclosed space of end. And I think a lot of that comes out of like human beings liking to put things into spaces and boxes.
Yeah.
And there's this, there's that, and there's this, or the other, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing some studying on a few different subjects, and one of the things that I read that was really interesting was, what if, because let's say you're dreaming or you're manifesting your own reality, you have that power over your own spirit. And if you have that power over your own spirit, then what you believe becomes your spirit's reality. So if I believe 100% when I leave this meat suit, I'm going to a different planet, or I'm coming back to Earth, and I'd like to be an animal or planet or the air or whatever. If through whatever religious programming you've come to believe that hell is your end destination, that quite possibly it is.
Right.
Because
That's likely to
when
be-
you leave this body, that energy signature is programmed
Right.
with that thought, with that thing you've manifested, and off you go into some kind of self-punishing reality that you've created for yourself.
Right,
And I
yeah.
thought, God, no, thank you, right?
Yeah.
And I've been honored to be in space as people cross over in my work or just my life, and to hold that space with them. And I've seen people cross over in fear,
Yeah.
thinking this is what's coming for them. And that is, to me, one of the most horrible human ways to transition.
Right.
In fear and doubt and where, and what, did I check all the boxes? Did I do all the things? What if this is what's coming for me? Or those who go in a space of peaceful transition because they know that peace is where they're going.
Right.
And how much power we have to manifest these
Yeah.
next experiences.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I recently sat with someone quite elderly who is starting to think about these transitions. And this is someone who was very much entrenched in traditional Christianity and was taught as a young child about going to heaven. And that when she went to heaven, she would then see all of her relatives and, all of that. But now, through being with us here and in another space prior to here, she has come to not believe in that location called heaven anymore. Her challenge is now she's afraid. She wasn't afraid before, and now she's afraid. And I spoke almost what you just said. I said, this is someone who very much respects the teachings ascribed to Jesus. And I said, Jesus taught that it is as we believe in our hearts that we tend to experience. It's what we believe that brings what happens to us. And I said, so if you choose to believe that you're going to a place that's beautiful and peaceful with all of your family, I think that's likely to be what you will experience, if that's what you choose to believe. Because what's not okay is for us to shake up people's beliefs and then not help them find something comforting, But yeah, I think that our belief, what we really know in our bones, in our hearts, for ourselves, I absolutely believe that that's likely to be our experience at the end.
I think there is a missing space sometimes when we talk about all this transition and finding your new path
Right.
and all that. There is a lot of fear
Yeah.
that comes up inside of you when
Right.
you are questioning the belief systems
Yes.
you were handed by your family or your community. When you give yourself permission to seek for yourself, there is a certain wall that you hit of fear and resistance at a certain point that says, if I go too far, is he watching? Am I going to get punished? Is this too far?
Right.
What do I believe in if I can't believe in that? And there is a big gap there of understanding that fear is a part of that transition
Right.
into whatever you're going to believe. But it is scary for human beings to be told, okay, well that's, the tooth fairy isn't real.
Right.
Okay, well then who's taking my teeth, right? And there's like this whole place in the middle. They know it's the fairies, not one. But it's all the fairies. But there is a very scary part of the journey. On the other side, there's freedom, and there's your own beliefs, and there's all that wonderful, strawberries and butterflies. But right in the middle, there's a terrifying place there.
Right, yeah. There's a gap. There's a gap of nothing,
No foundation.
No
It's
foundation.
just gone.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. That's what deconstructing is all about, is coming to that place of infinite possibility that then exists, but within that possibility is fear, or can be. Chris, and then Kimberly.
Well, getting back to, what is heaven? heaven, one of my favorite Bible scholars, Bart Ehrman, wrote a book about heaven and hell, and it wasn't until the middle of the 2nd century that they became afterlife destinations.
Right.
Because people got tired of waiting for Jesus to come back, so they said, we got to see the bad guys get punished, we got to see the good guys get rewarded. So but what Jesus actually taught was the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and seek first the kingdom. Look at the heaven that is here already.
Right here, right.
You know, and it's easy to see here. Sometimes I get out there and it's a little, well, more well disguised, I guess. But it is. It's just it's in the way we treat each other. It's in the way we interpret how life comes at us. So
Yeah. And it's that in every moment. It's that moment of now you're talking about. It's, heaven or hell now. And what about now? And what about now? What about now?
still have it.
Still heaven.
When I first got on my spiritual path, I ended up being in Science of Minds, and I was really excited. I was really happy. I started seeing things differently, and I remember I laid down to kind of go to sleep, and all of a sudden, uh-oh, what if, this is the devil, and he's trying to get me to go this way. And I went into such fear that I started to have a panic attack, and then I took some breath and went, wait a minute, what am I doing this to myself for? I am so happy with the way I believe now, and it gives me such peace. I go, so God, if there really is a devil and I'm going to go to hell, I guess I'm going to hell, so I'm not going back into that fear.
Yeah. Thank you. I remember having a conversation with one of my brothers, who are, none of which has any, again, they're anti-religious folks. They live well, they're nice people, but they're not into any kind of anything. And my brother said to me, so what if at the end of your life, like, you find out that you were wrong? There is no next life. There is no nothing else. You just dead.
How would you know
How
then?
would you know? Yeah. And I said, so if that's true, and my beliefs led me to be a more loving, peaceful, compassionate being, then my life would have been better for it, and the world would have been better for it, and it really doesn't matter
Yep, nope.
whether I'm right or wrong. That's not the point. It's what do your beliefs do for you on the journey, while you're here? How do they uplift, or do they not? So, they keep trying to hook me into these discussions. It's like, what if you're wrong? It's like, I might be very willing to be wrong, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
And, I think I'm pretty kind, and so what's
You
the matter?
are wonderful.
I'd rather be wrong on that side of it than,
Yeah.
oh, now what?
Yes, Lucinda.
For me, it's more like I'm finding that it's a growth thing, and yeah, I know what it's like to be one. That joy that it is when you're standing there and you know that you're part of something that just is huge, non-ending, and that the goal is kind of to be there. But I think for me, it's more along the lines of, am I doing everything that I can right now to be there, to be of service, to be in joy, to be in, how am I doing it, not letting myself get into fear,
Right.
no matter what appearances are out there. How am I doing at trying to help other people feel
Right.
the same way? How am I doing at putting that energy out there?
Yeah. And then pulling it in even further than out there, how am I doing in my household? How am I doing with my pets? How am I doing with my spouse, my roommates? How am I doing with the day-to-day, I make this commitment, to myself or to my family, and I keep it, It goes to every area. It's, how am I doing with all of them? There's plenty to look at. Anytime. All right, I'm going to jump to 2 more short readings. These are a little less heady, a little more, the complaining is one of them. So, February 20th, I release complaining. Today I make a conscious decision to clear my mind of complaints. This is no small feat, as it's all too easy to slip into the habit of expressing my frustrations and grievances, whether invited or not. Sometimes this helps me feel as if I have control over situations that are beyond my reach. Once I start complaining, it becomes a loop that's hard to break. A habit so ingrained that I might not even realize I'm doing it. But this Lenten season, I'm choosing a different path. I understand that complaining keeps me tethered to the problem, obscuring any possible solution. I let Maya Angelou's words inspire me. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Don't complain.
Absolutely.
Today I let go of complaining, allowing myself to see my life and the world through new eyes and with new opportunities. She quotes the book of Philippians here, do all things without murmuring and arguing. I like that one. So, flip side of releasing complaining, I reimagine by appreciating. Today I'm willing to reimagine my life by appreciating what I have and who I have in my life. This act of appreciation feels like the opening of a window to let the sunlight illuminate the beauty in my current situation or circumstances, even when that beauty isn't immediately clear to me. This conscious choice begins to transform my interactions and communication, promoting positive relationships and guiding me from conflict to solutions. Using appreciation, I train my mind to seek out the goodness that surrounds me. This positive action deepens my happiness, turning my complaints into compliments and my challenges into opportunities for growth. My good grows and multiplies, bringing more good things to me. By actively appreciating my life, I not only enhance my own well-being, but also become a beacon of positivity for those around me. So, talk to me about complaining. Do you ever hear yourself complaining? Maybe you notice other people complaining more than you do.
Can you say projection?
So what's moving in this room? Cheryl?
I have that book and I read that. And now I've noticed myself when I do complain, it comes up and I'm going, you know, what good does it do? I started laughing at myself, realizing that. I'm going, it sounds so silly. What good does it do to complain?
Right.
Really, you're complaining to yourself,
And it
not
doesn't
anybody
change
else.
anything.
That's right. And so I start, when I catch myself doing that, I laugh at myself to get over that. I'm starting to do, I'm changing that.
Good for you.
It's not easy, but I'm working on that. But
Good
I
for you.
finally realized how silly it sounds.
Yeah.
Really.
Do you remember when they put out those complaint bracelets years and years
Yes,
ago?
I remember
They
that.
were like a little rubber band bracelet.
Snap.
No complaints, they said. And every time you caught yourself complaining about anything, you were supposed to take it. Well, I didn't snap myself. Take it off of this wrist and put it on the other wrist.
Oh.
Take it off of this wrist and put it on the other wrist. Back and forth. Guys, remember that?
How many times
I
a
thought it
day
was a
do
great
people
idea.
do that?
I just got 2, 1 for each wrist.
Lucinda.
Well, something about the bracelets first. There were 2 of them. One was complaining, the other one was anger.
Oh, I didn't
And
know about
anger
that.
was the one that if you got angry with someone, you're supposed to bring that up and snap your wrist to remind yourself not to be angry anymore. Did I say I agreed with it? But that's what the anger one was about.
Okay.
It's just to remind yourself not to be angry. It was a way of trying to
So you
change
hurt
your
yourself to remind yourself to not be angry.
Well, you know, it could be said that anger hurts you too, so,
It does.
you know.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking is there's a sister word for complaining. And that sister word is blaming.
Okay.
And it's almost like they go hand in hand. This thing isn't working for me, it's Bob's fault.
It's always Bob's fault.
There's two of us here.
But it's
Try
my,
and get that too.
Oh, there's two of us.
it's just a way of complaining but not taking responsibility.
Uh-huh.
And so where I would rather go is, okay, I don't like what's going on, how am I going to change it instead of it's Bob's fault?
Right.
Because that accomplishes nothing, except
That's-
possibly some bad feelings with Bob.
That's true.
Poor Bob.
Poor Bob.
What else, Myron?
To me, at its essence, complaining is like a form of forgetting our creative power.
Uh-huh.
So if we are like truly a part of the divine or a part of God, like we come here as powerful creative beings.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a matter of becoming passive in our life and then blaming everybody else or complaining and forgetting that we have the creative power to change things and create something completely different and imagine something more beautiful. And so I find myself doing that a lot. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I have the power to do something different.
Right. Yeah. I had that experience this morning. I woke up in a horrible mood. I don't know why, and nothing happened.
The funk was on.
And I went to my chair, and I said, no, this will not be happening today. And I went into my own form of listening and reflection and inviting positive spirits, energy that exist, at least in my world, to infuse me and fill me and flow through me, and and before I knew it, it's like 5 minutes and it was gone. Like, we can do that anytime we choose to. So it's,
I mean, very similar to what you were saying, except sometimes my mind has trouble with like just saying stop doing something. So if I'm just like stop complaining, sometimes that doesn't really feed anything in me. But once I framed complaining as like withholding, like, oh, I am actually withholding love or withholding responsibility or withholding like who I am or my connection to others or anything like that, then I was able to see it kind of more like a doorway or a dam to move out of the way. And it's like, oh, I don't have to like shut off this flow of love and connection through thinking that everything is wrong right now. I get to open that up and be a channel of responsibility and love and everything. So I think reframing it from like, oh, this is the problem that I need to stop, and like it keeps my focus there. I'm like, oh, this is the thing that gets to allow for something else. So I think just that reframing my own mind has helped me a lot.
Thank you. Now, reframing is a powerful tool in all kinds of circumstances. April?
I think we discussed too frequency and tone and programming your own brain. And when you do that, you're also giving your brain something to seek out evidence of. Right? So you might not know, we have two large personalities in the same small apartment, right? And we have two different ways of being in the world and two different ways of making ourselves comfortable. And we're two different individuals, right? And so there are times that we catch ourselves going into this place of negative complaining about each other, right? To ourselves, like, oh shit, this is clean. Oh shit. But when you say those things about your partner or about a situation, about an object, you're programming your brain to look for evidence of what you are telling it is reality.
Right.
And the more you do that, the more that is all you can see.
Yeah.
And now you're in this negative pattern of constantly seeking out evidence as to why they are annoying, why what you believe to be true is true, right? Whether it's another coworker, an animal, whatever, this annoying tree, whatever it is, the more you program your own energy signature to that reality, the harder it is to break that.
Yeah.
But a more powerful energy signature is one of gratitude.
Right.
So when we catch ourselves doing that, we stop, we acknowledge that we've been doing this thing, and we consciously make a choice to see each other as divine light, to see what we appreciate about each other, to name
Right.
it out loud, because then it will stop that funk in the room, and then we
Yeah.
can begin forward in a different direction. But it's really easy
Yeah.
to go into those
It is.
lower frequency emotions
Yeah.
and to just stay there and to keep telling yourself that's your reality.
Right.
And then next thing you know, you're just self-programmed misery into your whole life.
That's right. Perfect transition. And I'm watching the clock, so briefly,
Just quickly,
not that
when
the
you're
clock,
when you're complaining about something, a situation, you're abdicating responsibility for your experience of it,
Right.
which means you're making yourself a victim.
Right, yeah, stepping right into that victim place. Thank you. Lucinda.
And one of the things that I deal with, Bob, is, you know, because there's so many times when it's like, it's his fault. I also, well, you know, 34 years, he's used to it. But I also make a point
Anyway.
of telling him when I am feeling grateful
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah,
So it's not just, I think you're the bad guy.
yeah.
He's just the most convenient person, but I'm also so very grateful. I'm being honest here.
Yes,
So, but I'm also so very grateful for him in my life as well.
yeah. Thank you. So living life from appreciation rather than complaint is nothing more than a change of perspective. Right? That's all it is. It's a choice to change your perspective. It's what April was speaking to.
Change your attitude, change your life.
There you go. Cheryl, you have something?
Well, with my husband, when his life has changed. And I could sit there and complain with all the fighting, the battle with him. I go back and say, I appreciate everything he has been to me. He's been my support for many years. And I go back and remember those things.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for him in my life, even though he's a pain in the ass sometimes.
Her husband's about to hit 90. So what other, last question that I have here for today, unless something else comes up that's burning out here. What other changes of perspective might serve us in our relationships, in our homes, in our own levels of happiness? What other shifts in perspective might serve us?
Recognizing that out of contentment comes happiness. Happiness does not bring contentment.
Absolutely. Out of contentment comes happiness. Happiness does not bring contentment.
Trying to see everybody as their God, you know.
Okay.
When I start, my ego starts to take over and say this, that, and the other, go, they're where they are God too.
There is a divine spark right
Absolutely.
there in front of me.
Right.
Yeah, in whatever form it's taking. Any other shifts in perspective?
Just having the baseline being approval for everything inside you and everything for everyone else, it feels like you have way more options than if you're kind of judging whether you approve of something or not.
Yeah.
It's just baseline, this is what is, and I can accept that, then there's a lot more options that you have.
Absolutely. And if you can't quite get to approval, which for some people means, I think this is a good idea, at least allowing, just allowing things to be as they are, without complaint, without criticism, without judgment, without our own good opinions of how things should be. Chris?
I think it was Mindy Austin that said, assume highest intent always.
Yeah.
Because somebody might do something I vehemently disagree with, but I'm assuming that they're acting from their highest intention and what they think is
Yeah.
highest and best for themselves and all and everybody.
Assume highest intent. Always powerful.
Well, as you know, one of my big things is growth in my life. It's my, with everything that I do, it's journeying myself toward a higher level. But allowing is also allowing him to do the same thing.
That's right.
You know, not putting him in a box and saying that's the way he is, and you know, it's just not going to change.
Right.
It changes all the time. My job is to see that.
Yeah. Thank you.
In our studies of see with new loving eyes, when I went to go to Cresta and Brandon's, my son, I said, God, please let me see Cresta, my daughter-in-law, with loving new eyes. And when I got there, she gave me a big hug. She's never done that before. And I went, whoa! I didn't expect anything. I just wanted to see her with new eyes, and it shifted everything.
It's amazing what we carry with us when we enter a space.
Yes.
And how creative that energy that we carry with us, our expectation of how somebody will be or what they might do. All you have to do is shift that perspective. Very often, the whole thing shifts.
Something that was powerful for me, it was in the book called Conversations with God, and it's, can I look at what is before me without the baggage, and can I see what can work?
Right. And I really look at what's before me without my own projections placed upon it. And can I see possibility beyond what's right here? What a great conversation. So is there anything else that needs to be voiced right now before we close in prayer and join one another at the table for lunch? Jeff?
Well, in my case, it's just the life that I'm given. It's not the life I'm living, it's the life that I'm given.
Okay.
And the closer I get to God, the more the devil wants me.
All right.
And so don't believe that there's no devil, there's no devil. And, you know, I thank God for everything that comes my way. You know, I have a lot of things in my life that happens. I don't complain about it. I want to, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I thank God every day. I thank Him every day for everything that comes my way.
All right,
It's
so
good and
your
bad.
appreciation is so important.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. All right then, let's close in prayer. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable, or whatever feels right for you in prayer. Taking a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths to ground you. With the presence of a life force entering through the breath. Moving into the silence and trusting in the one source or the one life to hold you. Feeling held myself. That I might rest in prayer, that I might rest in spirit. And so that's the flavor, the energy that we're calling forth right now. It's just a deep rest, being held, being loved beyond measure. I know that as infinite intelligence is forever expressing as all of creation, that I am, and each one of us here and everywhere is a perfect and intentional expression, absolutely unique and necessary. A way, just one way that spirit is expressing itself and experiencing itself. So giving the great mystery, the experience of being human, as me and as you. Today I make up my mind here and now to give spirit the right of its life. To be the very best version of myself that I can muster in any given moment. I know that life is constant change. And so here and now I make up my mind to get more comfortable with change, to allow life to move and flow as it will, as it always does. And I commit to a deeper engagement with Spirit, allowing her to guide me every step of the way. I'll even follow her guidance. See how that works out for me. Accepting and allowing whatever comes. So grateful that as perfect and intentional expressions of divinity, we have the capacity, the courage, and the willingness to make inspired choices. Each of us, in our own unique ways, does what is ours to do for the good of all, for the good of our world and our future. I know that each of us is an agent of positive change, and we're here at this time and place for a reason. We give thanks for the privilege of being alive, right here, right now. So grateful to know that I can count on a loving and lawful presence. Grateful to have a safe space to express myself and for each of us to be able to express ourselves as we build bridges. Spiritual family to support my journey. Thank you, Great Spirit, for the many blessings and miracles of this and every day. Thank you for this community of saints that share the space with me, share my life with me. I'm so grateful for the abundance of Spirit and all the ways that it shows up. For the countless hands that it took to bring our feast to the table today. For the nourishment that our time together always provides. So immersed in this atmosphere of grace, I release this prayer now, trusting in the loving and lawful presence of Spirit to make it so. May I have eyes to see everything that comes from this moment forward as answered prayer.
Absolutely.
I let it go, fully and completely, calling it done, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Amen. What a great conversation, you guys. I love it. So thank you so much for being here today. We're going to bring this part of the morning, barely morning anymore. We got talking today. That's good. But we're going to offer a chance for you to share of your financial good with our community, if you would like to do that, in support of the work that we're doing here. As we engage in this sacred practice of circulation, we're going to share a video that is playing for change. Since we're talking about change, I thought playing for change would be a good video for today. And their version of higher ground, because that's what we're all looking for, right? Here we go. Feel free to dance, because I can't help it.
Try it again, 'cause the last time on earth I lived
I've sinned. I'm so glad that I know more than I knew then. Gonna keep on trying till I reach the highest ground.
Standing right here and right now, I am so very grateful for all of the food that's come in. I am so very grateful for the cooks who come in and provide food. I am grateful for the contributions today and knowing that feeding people is one of the ways that we operate in the world. And so knowing that each and every dollar that we, that we receive goes to help in some way. So I just say thank you, Father, Mother, God, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. And let's sing our closing song.
All right, let's do it. Because I'm hungry. All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me. Take your past and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you. Let joy renew you until we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, 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 love be with you until we meet again. Love be with you. Love be with you. Now breathe it in. Love be with you. Love be with you until we meet again. Love be with you. Love be with you. Now breathe it in. Love be with you. God bless you. Thank you for being here today.